thought that was the one, isn't it?
What is being asked of you? This is where people fall down. This is why people are not successful. Because they misinterpret or don't understand or don't read and don't know what you're being asked to do. So be clear. Usually, when it's a presentation like this for university, you will get an assessment brief. Break it down. Work out what actually are you being asked to do. You're fortunate that you're doing it in a group, so you can have conversation about, I don't quite get this, do you? Oh yeah, I get this. If you were doing this on your own, because a lot of presentations you stood up on your own. So, you know, you've got to do the work on your own. Can you speak out loud? Can you? I know we converse with each other, but that's about conversation, isn't it? This is different. This is presentation time. Same at a job interview, like we were saying. Same as if you're having to deliver a handover to an MDT. Can you speak out loud? Or are you one of those very quietly spoken people? And that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Can you give eye contact? No. I am aware in some cultures that eye contact is perceived to be rude.
Yes, that's right.
This is difficult because here it's different, culturally it's different. You are being assessed here. We are very respectful of cultural beliefs and cultural understanding. You are not going to fail if you can't give eye contact or you feel uncomfortable doing so. Just be very clear about that. But there is a difference between and I want to talk about this today, and yeah, you can see the difference. In your presentation, are you allowed to look at notes?
We have PowerPoints.
So you've got PowerPoints to work on. Okay, so you need to know those PowerPoints inside and out. And not only do you need to know your own, if you're working in a group, you need to know when yours finishes, when mine starts. Because there's nothing worse. Thank you.
Who's next?
Yes.
Yeah. Who's next?
Oh, it's me. Can you breathe? Right? Can you breathe? One of the things that when we are having to speak in public, do a presentation, is that we get a little bit anxious. Our adrenaline kicks in, as we've identified. One of the first thing adrenaline will do is impact on your breathing. So your breathing will get a bit shallower, a bit quicker, a bit more panicky, okay? No one can deliver a presentation when they can't catch the breath, okay? It sounds daft, but it's something that if we are anxious, because we're having to present and speak out loud and speak publicly, is that, you know, we forget to breathe. I like to say that, you know, that's what happens. I think I woke you up then, didn't I? Can you share what you know? Okay? Can you share with your assessor what you know about what you've been asked to do? You've been here since September for some of you, since January for the others. You're not telling me you haven't learned a damn thing since being here. You're not telling me you haven't read, that you haven't studied, that you've not attended a lecture. So now what you are having to do is say, right, this is what I've learned. just as I'm going to show you. Okay? We're not asking you to be, professorial. We're asking you to just demonstrate what you've learned. Simple. Step 3. Seeing a theme now, people. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Have a practice run. Okay? Start hearing your own voice out loud. Have a practice at home. Tell the dog your presentation. Tell your flatmate. Run it in front of the mirror in the bathroom at home. So you get used to knowing if that's how it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to that one. But have a go. I am more than aware that I talk with my hands. It's a trait that is in my family that we all are more conscious of it now. But I know that's what I do. So when I'm at a job interview or giving a presentation, I sit with my hands on my lap or on the plinth or whatever. In this setting, I'm more relaxed, so they're away with themselves. If you're really, really anxious about, I'm going to sound rubbish, I can't speak properly, record your sound and play it back, which sounds hideous because no one likes listening to how they talk. Nobody does. But that way you can pick up on your mannerisms, your speed, your rate. I know that I talk with my hands, but I also know that I talk very fast as well. And again, I come from a very big family. If you don't talk fast, no one listens to you. Have a practice run on your own and then as a group that you're with. Don't focus on what went really badly or what we didn't do well. Focus on what we did do well and how we can step up. Do better. Think about your body language. You can take a picture if you want, I'll just move out of the way. Unless you want me to go. Think about your body language. Okay? Think about how you stood, what you do when you talk. There's nothing worse than assessing somebody who's picking a spot or a scab or itching or pulling at the beard. It's really distracting. Think about who you're speaking to. Okay, you are speaking to Stuart and Manju and Ula, the head of the department. Wowzers, she's got a few. Think about who you're talking to. You aren't talking to your mates, you are talking to professionals. Okay? Don't be intimidated by that at all. There's people. However, we're not, oh my God, right, and then they did this and they did that. No. That's not professional. Think about the terms that you use. If you are using abbreviations or acronyms, NMC, we all know what the NMC is. Do we not?
Yes.
But if I was to say, this patient has VAD, needs to be on the CPA, star risk assessment, high risk, would you know what I was talking about? Not a clue, because I'm just using a load of mental health jargon at you. When I moved to this university, when I came out of practice, I went to Salford and I had to learn a whole new language because there were terms and abbreviations that I had no idea what they were talking about. And then I kind of got to grips with it and then left Salford and came here in January. And I'm like having to learn a whole another language now of abbreviations. We've got BAP and TEP and this module's called this and that. So, be